Man, so my advice as a 34-year-old black man to any young men out there, whatever race you are, if you're undecided about your future, where you should go, what you should do with your life, for me personally, I came from a life of poverty. I grew up in the projects. Um, like I experienced it all, sleeping on the floors, living with relatives, all of that, all of those things. Um, it's been times when I had to, like, we would all be in a two-bedroom apartment that my aunt owned. Well, she rented out. Me, my mom, my two sisters, we all had to go live with her for a period of time. And my cousins, my aunt had a daughter, little toddler, and we had to the toddler would sleep with my aunt in her bedroom, and me and my mom and my little sister would sleep in the toddler's bedroom, and it was literally a blow up mattress on the floor. We had flat pillows. There were bugs. We were in the projects. I mean, go outside the door. It's a small parking lot. Crime all over the place. Guns, gangs, you name it, murders. Drug deals going on in the alley, fights, seeing people. I mean, you name it, we saw it, we lived it, we experienced it. I went to a very bad school, Peabody Elementary in St. Louis, Missouri, living in the Peabody Projects, literally right across the street. Teachers didn't care. They were like glorified babysitters. Um, and that was just one point in my life. Like, I didn't even I mean, if you want to read more of my life, you can look at the books in the link in the description below. I'm actually an author, but just from that point, like I told myself, like education was gonna be my way out. But at that point in time, I was in fourth grade, and so I was getting picked on a lot because of my clothes, my shoes. We had to wear uniforms, but I only had like two pair of uniform pants, and we had to wash our clothes in a tub, or we would go to the laundromat like once a week, carrying our clothes and busted up bags, going to the laundromat. I mean, I had it hard. I had it rough. I didn't actually start physically fighting until sixth grade because that's when I had enough of the bullying and I started to defend myself. But there was this guy named Mr. Dejan. He would come to my middle school, and it's like it was a program. Like they would take a select few of us outside of the class, and we would all go into this other room, and they would just talk to us about a better future, college, like the possibilities of where you can go outside of your current environment. And so I used to always look at that and really, I really took in what he was saying. Like I never forget this man, Mr. Dejan. And so it was a white man as well, because normally in poverty, all I saw was black people, black kids, black teachers. The black teachers really didn't care. The white teachers were getting run over by the bad black kids, and I saw teachers break down in class crying multiple times because of how bad the kids were. It was bad, man. But Mr. Dejan, man, he was different. And so one day we took a trip out of town, like 3 hours away to this college in our state, and I saw a whole different world. I saw a different life. I was like, this is crazy. Like just thinking, coming from where I live, like in the sixth grade, we had a little two-family flat. It was like it's like a town home apartment. It's two doors on the front. A lot of these are common in St. Louis and in the Midwest. It's a building with two doors in the front. One door, you open it, and that's the apartment. And then the other door in the front of the apartment, you open it, and there's a stairs going straight up, and that's another apartment. So we lived in a two-family flat. I lived in the upstairs apartment, me and my mom and my two sisters. And at that time, we took a trip out of town to the college, and I just saw a whole different world. Like I said, like I saw the dorm rooms, people on campus, and this was like we saw. We had a mining experience. Like we went to the mines of the college, and we saw them exploding things, and we saw engineering students and the science lab, the chemistry lab. Like it was so amazing to me. I was like, wow. Like, so I told myself like education was gonna be my key. Education was gonna be my way out. I knew like one thing somebody taught me was that education is something they could never take away from you. What you learn, what you put inside your head. And so I told myself like I'm at the perfect time right now. I have the perfect advantage to take advantage of the time that I have left in school to, do right, get better grades. And I tell you no lie, that semester, like from then on, I started making A's and B's, like A's and B's. But unfortunately, in the type of school I was in, the environment, there wasn't much expectation from us students. We weren't given a very rigorous curriculum, and so I easily passed with flying colors. All I had to do was apply myself. Like there was no challenge for me, so I floated through school, straight A's, straight A's, straight A's, and then I ended up I actually went to that college, that same college I visited. It's like, I don't know, something in me, like I wanted to go there. And so I applied, but I got put on the waiting list. In high school, I was put on the waiting list. So I forgot what I got on the ACT, probably like a 19 out of 36. But if you got like 30 and up, like you were intelligent. Like I knew people that got like 22, 21. I know people that got like 14, but I was like average, I guess. But my reading and literature skills has always been like top tier. So that's why I'm an author. Like I have published books on Amazon. But I took it. I got put on the waiting list. I prayed about it. Prayed. Boom, I got in. So I get in and I failed horribly. Like I was not prepared. Like I went for chemical engineering. And I was like, man, what's going on? Like I thought, I don't know. So I figured maybe I'm gonna just transfer colleges or switch colleges. But at that point, I actually met my wife the first year of college, like my last semester. And so I was put on academic probation. I passed some classes I didn't pass the finals, and I was just like, man, forget it, man. I got frustrated. I'm like, man, maybe this ain't the path that I'm supposed to be on. So I dropped out. Got with my wife, married her literally that first year, like that December. I dropped out in April. I married my wife in December, and we started our family. And I went to work. I started working in warehouses. Like I felt so discouraged. I felt so unaccomplished. I felt like my dad was disappointed in me. I was hard on myself all the time. Like I said, I was depressed. I felt like I was just wasting my time, and I felt like I don't know, man. And then once you start working, when you drop out of college and you just start working, you get used to that consistent money. And so I was paying the bills, family growing, one kid turned into two kids, turned into three kids, and I'm just like, man, I'm stuck, man. Forget it. So my wife actually encouraged me to go back to college, but I did it online. I went online because I was like, I don't have time. Like the shifts I was working, warehouse work, you can work the second shift, first shift, weekend shift. I've worked all those shifts before. And so I decided I'm gonna just do it online. I wasn't really interested in anything at the time, so I figured I'm gonna get a degree in like godly studies. So I got a degree in leadership and ministry from an accredited college, Grace Christian University up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But like I said, I went online, 100% online. So I would go to work, come home, do my schoolwork. I got my degree, and I couldn't find a job because I was thinking all my life I was told, go to college, get your degree, get your degree, get your degree. I figured, hey, all I need is a degree, right? So boom, I got a degree. Nope, You didn't get the right degree. I actually should have gotten a STEM degree, science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. That way, those degrees lead to a better paying career path. Unfortunately, I wasn't told that. However, in high school, I believe it was my junior year, sophomore year, I was approached by this Navy recruiter, and I took the test, I passed it. The guy was driving me home. He was really trying to recruit me. They really wanted me, and I really considered going, but I didn't. Um, at that time, I was just my whole family like, no, 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 no. Like I wasn't really encouraged at all to consider the military. So I just only saw one way, which was college, getting a degree. But unfortunately, I ended up with the wrong degree. So here I am celebrating. I got my degree. I started applying to jobs, and they're like, no, 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 no. I had associate's degree. They was like, oh, you need a bachelor's degree. So I'm like, bruh. So I feel like I reached the finish line, but then the finish line got moved further down the road. So at that point, you're kind of discouraged. You like, so I'm like, forget it, man. So I just went back to work. I'm like, dog, I can't. I felt frustrated, man. I was so upset, depressed, and all that stuff. So I felt like I just put my head down, went back to work. Now, I like I said, my family discouraged me completely from joining the military. But now that I think about it and look back on it, I'm thinking maybe I should have just did that. That's why my whole thing now was more recently, like I said, was thinking about considering joining the Air Force, because all the benefits you get, if people don't really tell you about it, they don't really speak to you about it. I mean, if you have a family, you get monthly payments, you get more for your family, more payment for your family. You get the GI Bill, which pays for your college tuition. You get housing, you get the VA loan. Basically, they pay for you. They pay the bank for your home, any home that you purchase. I know someone right now with 2 homes, both have VA loans on it. It's like a guarantee to the bank, whether you default on the loan or not. They guarantee some money to the bank, and so banks are more prone to lend to people with a VA loan. It's so many benefits to the military. You just signing your life away, to be honest, or for a certain period of time, and then you can get out and retire from it. But I mean, some people don't, because I don't know all the stipulations and things that go into it. But I was gonna do the Air Force Reserves. Basically, I would go do basic training, pass basic training, come back home, and at one weekend out of the month, I would have to go somewhere in town to do more training. That would be the gist of things. But the way the world is right now, I really don't feel led to do that. It was just something I was considering. But now that I think about it, if I go back in time, I would look at the Army Reserves, the Navy Reserves, the Air Force Reserves. I would actually consider that. So if you're a young male, you don't really have any guidance or direction in life, you don't feel like you have the wherewithal to go to college. I mean, we see all the ghost jobs being posted right now, the AI layoffs, all the tech layoffs, all the corporate layoffs, people losing their jobs on a daily basis, people losing jobs in the government sector. We see what's happening. We see now that even people that are graduating college with a degree, a bachelor's degree, they still can't find jobs. They're still not being hired. It's still like, it's like they told us, go to college. Everybody went to college. Now businesses are saying, well, everybody has a degree, so it doesn't really give you a leg up. You know what I'm saying? So now they're saying, oh, we need industrial workers. We need plumbers and HVAC technicians and electricians, and we need construction workers now. It's no, everyone told you to go to college, but now we need these workers. We need construction workers and plumbers and electricians. So now it's like the goalpost keeps getting moved, dog. So it's like, for me personally, any young males, if you don't go to college, because I'm not just saying, oh, you going to college, you should go to college. Like, they hammered that into us my entire life going to school. 12 years I was in school. They told us, go to college, go to college, go to college. From when I was 6 to when I turned 18, they told us, go to college. I went to college and things didn't work out, at least not in my favor. But now they're saying, oh, you should go to trade school. Be a welder. Work on diesel mechanics and construction and HVAC. So it's like the goalpost keeps getting moved, man. So I wouldn't recommend college unless you trying to be a nurse, doctor, astronaut, engineer. Sometimes you do need college for certain professions, but for the ones like if you're just trying to climb the corporate ladder, I wouldn't recommend it right now, man, to be honest. Like right now, personally, I'm actually in college for my, I know that sounds like a hypocritical statement, but this was before I signed up to go back to college when I felt like I didn't have no other options because business wasn't working out for me. And I don't know, man. I was like, man, one thing about me, I'm not a quitter. So this was even before the idea of the Air Force got put into my mind, the Air Force Reserves. I signed up to go back to college. And so I'm actually in school right now, currently. I'm pursuing a degree in the logistics industry because one thing about me, I felt like I've already been in one industry for so long, warehouse work and all of that. I figured I would get a degree to where in logistics overall, to where I can be over operations or whatever the case may be, if that comes, if that's down my path later on. Basically, heading operations for like shipping logistics coming in or over the road 18-wheeler trucks bringing shipments in or over the airways, bringing shipments in from out of the country. I could be the head of operations of those types of things as opposed to just a warehouse worker or some part-time job guy sweeping the warehouse floors like I started out doing. And so that's my whole thing right now. But like I said, I was considering the Air Force Reserves, still kind of in the back of my mind, just because I know they could wipe away my college debt and all that. But for any young man, I would say Army Reserves, Navy Reserves, or full blown if you want it, Marines, Air Force Reserves. Like if you go to college, I would say only do it if you specifically have to. Like if you're going into the science, tech, engineering, or mathematics sector fields, or whatever the case may be, I would suggest it. If not, I would not recommend college right now. Or try your best, start your own business. I would say a service-based business, to be honest, because a service-based business is the fastest way you will make money in business. What I mean by saying that is if you start a product-based business, like, oh, you making candles and you trying to sell them, or you making clothing and you trying to sell them, hats, shirts, you make some new invention and you trying to sell it, it's going to be hard, to be honest. You jumping into a ocean of other people online trying to sell their stuff, their products, hats, accessories, whatever product people come up with is hard trying to sell products. If you get into a service-based business, you're performing a service. All you need is 2 hands and 2 feet. And you can go get a broom and mop, start a cleaning business, car washing business, lawn care service-based business, poop scooping business, like cleaning up dog poop for neighbors, $10 a visit. You put people on contract. Hey, call me out. I'm gonna come clean it up. $10. That stuff adds up. It's hard work. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's hard because you got to think about customer acquisition. Marketing is customer acquisition, but sales, operations, fulfilling the work, hiring people if you want to expand, or if not, create that job for yourself, stack up, and then hire people later on. Bookkeeping, the accounting, paying your taxes, all of that stuff is hard. And especially when you're starting out and you ain't got no money It's harder. That's why a lot of people, the most millionaires are like 40, age 40 and up. I'm not even 40 yet, but most millionaires are 40 and up because they've been through the ringer. Like they've fallen on their face multiple times and gotten back up and learned along the way. Or they started out working in a certain career field, stacked up their money, and then started that business. So they became successful that way much faster at 40 or 50 or whatever. If you starting out and you like you like 18, 20, and 20, you gonna bump your head along the way. I'm just being honest. You gonna fail, you gonna make mistakes, you gonna lose out on money, you gonna lose out on customers, you gonna get a couple 1-star reviews. That's fine. If you have the tough skin enough to do that, do it. I'm telling you, it's hard. It's hard starting out. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you it's easy. All you gotta do is this, X, Y, Z. Nah, because I've been told that before. All you gotta do is this. All you gotta do is that. But that was for them to sell me something. I bought their course. I bought their coaching. I bought their training. They didn't tell me how hard it was. They didn't break it down to me like this, because if they did, I probably wouldn't have bought it from them. I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably wouldn't have tried it. But like I said, if you want to go that route, start your own business, do that. Make sure it's a service-based business, carpet cleaning, house cleaning, grass cutting. But grass cutting is seasonal, so in wintertime, you're going to be back broke unless you figure out snow shoveling, hanging Christmas lights, washing cars, like I said, doggy cleaning, dog walking. Whatever you got, or reselling, buying things and buying them at a cheaper price and selling them for more so you can make a profit, or buying beat up stuff and then refurbishing it, buying messed up furniture, cleaning it up, getting it right and selling it on Facebook Market, Craigslist, whatnot. It's so many ideas out here, but none of them are easy. I'm gonna just be honest. It takes time. It takes time building things up and setting things up, establishing things the right way. But so if you're a young male, I would tell you this: if you're working a job right now, the easiest jobs to get are warehouse jobs. To be honest, a lot of people overlook this stuff because it's physical labor and it's harder. But I'm not talking to the women. I'm talking to young men, 18, 20, 25. Find a warehouse job. Do all the work you can. Hustle. Your idea in your 20s, you need to have your head down. You need to be hustling. Get your money up. Forget about these women. Forget about going out, hanging out, buying stuff, trying to show off. You need to be hustling, especially if you don't have a kid, if you're not married. Do not focus on anything but God and hustling. Get your money up. Put your head down. Put blinders on like them race horses. You don't look to the left or to the right. Get your money up. I'm telling you. Stack your money up. Stash it away. Build an emergency fund of $2,500. I know it might sound far-fetched right now, but stack that money up. Each time you get paid, put something aside into another bank account. Have your bank account to where your money comes in from one your paycheck, and all your bills come out of that bank account. But then have another bank account to where you send money to yourself in that account, and you don't touch it. Stack it up. Use some gas money or whatever for the week, and then the rest of that money, stack it up. Only buy essentials: soap, deodorant, toothpaste, body wash, toothbrushes. Pay your bills. Buy you some snacks here and there, but don't be out here buying the latest Jordans and Amiri and all this stupid, superficial stuff that won't matter in 5 years. Stack your money up. If you don't have credit card debt, don't fall into it. I would teach you a certain way to use credit cards, but right now, a lot of young people aren't disciplined enough to use them the way I use them, to where I get money back from it, and I only swipe my card for the amount of money that I have to pay for something already. I have a debit card, but I don't use it. I do not use my debit card. I have a credit card that I use with the same bank. And what I do is I swipe it, but I make sure I have that money in my account before I even swipe it. And at the end of the month, I all the money that I swiped for that month, I pay it off immediately, 100%. I pay off my credit card every single month, and that is a cashback credit card as well. So the bank is losing money by me having their credit card because every time I swipe, I get cash back on that credit card. When you swipe a debit card, you're not getting cash back. You're just losing money. So I swipe my credit card, but I make if I'm putting $40 in my gas tank, I'm making sure it's $40 sitting in my bank account right now before I even do that, before I even swipe the credit card. And so when I swipe it, let's say I go the rest of the month, I don't use it again, which I'm gonna use my credit card every week for gas at least 40, 80. 120, $160 for the month. Okay, I better have $160 in my account already. Because if I don't, I'm not swiping that credit card. Because you're going to fall into credit card debt. Do not do that. Don't be that person. Basically, it's 2% cash back on every purchase I get. So my money has been stacking up, and I haven't touched that money that's also been stacking up from the credit card. They're like, "Hey, you have rewards. You can use." I know that. I'm not using it yet. It's about being disciplined. So I have money from the credit card that I haven't used. All I gotta do is push a button, and then money will be in my account. Technically, it already is because it's on the credit card, but that money is sitting there, and I have my savings from when I've been saving from my paychecks that I send myself from the other bank account. Like, build yourself a buffer. Forget about all this flashy stuff. Quit trying to impress people. That's why I said I work out at home. Like, I don't have a gym membership. Like, in this day and age, this economy, you gotta be frugal, gotta be wise, build your emergency fund. And yes, I've had to tap into my emergency fund this year. I can't take, it's been so many times I had to already, and it's just July. It's only half of the year, but I've built it back up. It's all about being disciplined, because you might get into the mind of, oh, every time I build my emergency fund, I have to use it. Duh, emergencies will come. Yes, you're gonna have to use it. That's what it's there for. Because guess what? If you don't, you're gonna be in credit card debt, or you just gonna be really out of luck if you don't even have a credit card. You're not gonna have anything to use if emergencies come up. So stack your emergency fund. If you have to use any of it, stack it back up and then don't touch it. But that's all I have for y'all today, man. Thank y'all for watching. Be disciplined. This message is for specifically the young men. I'm 34. I've been through it. There is hope on the other side, though. Keep going, man. Keep going. As a man, you built for this. You're built to produce and provide. Especially if you don't have any children, man. Oh my gosh. Stack your money as much as possible. Put yourself in the best possible position while you can. Like I said, I'm 34. I'm still learning. I'm not even 40 yet. But if you 18, 20, 22, 25, 26, 27, man, you're not, it's not too late. It's not too late. Trust me. Trust me, it's not too late. But thank y'all for watching. God bless.